Hi divas! So before the video starts, I would just like to announce something. I made a Discord not too long ago, and if you guys are looking for a fun and inclusive space and the chance to be included in future videos, then feel free to join my Discord. My server is relatively new and it's still developing, so it might look a bit tacky for now. Anyway, I don't want to keep you guys waiting for too long. Let's begin. One character I really like going up against in particular, especially when I'm playing Selena, is Navaria. It always feels like an intense sniper battle. The key to hitting Navaria, or just heroes in general, is paying attention to their force swing. What is a force swing? It's that small animation before they cast a skill. In this case, Navaria's force swing is very noticeable. She stops for, I would say, less than a second, but if you can predict when she's gonna stop, then you will definitely hit her. Now, a lot of characters have very different force swings, so depending on who you're facing, it can be a bit different. I started out by helping our jungle, but I had to stick around because of Franco. I wouldn't want Franco to delay our jungle, or possibly steal a buff. Other than Navaria, the enemy team comp is honestly very manageable. They have a ton of CC, being CC, Franco, and Hanabi, and also a very annoying jungler being Hayabusa. Haya is very mobile and it's very hard to snipe him. But there is also another character which I'm kind of worried about, and that's their marksman, which is Hanabi. Now, for the most part, Hanabi is not a problem for literally 90% of the roster. However, she is a problem for Selena because she can just negate Selena's stuns. But I feel like after a bit of trial and error against Hanabi's, you will figure out how to engage in dealing with a Hanabi. Hanabi doesn't have the shortest cooldowns in the early game, so we should definitely take that into account. Now at this point, the only person we don't have sights on is their jungler. So I'm picking my team to be careful, specifically our gold laner, because their jungler started from red to blue, meaning eventually he'd want to gain the gold lane. Very risky but very well played, follow up by Savior. Now Hayabusa uses ult and his dashes, meaning if I snipe him, he's basically defenseless. I won't be able to kill him on my own, but Gushin is around the area. And again, in the early game, we all have really long cooldowns, so he won't be able to get his dashes in time. Now, I knew Hanabi would contest the gold crab, but she still had her shield and she probably knew I was around, so she knew I couldn't do anything to her. But what I'm gonna assume is that since Hanabi saw me with really low HP, she probably thought I would go back to base. However, that is not the case. Hanabi was in a lose-lose situation. Either she keeps getting chipped down by Irithel or takes Savior's ult. She was basically dead anyway. Now here it's kind of my fault, because usually when you're contesting objectives, you'd realistically want to check every single bush around the turtle, because Hayabusa ended up jumping us, but fortunately for us, we still got the turtle. Now, you don't always have to do this, but when you're playing Selena, since she has a really good jungle clear, you should take the lethos or the side crabs, especially if your teammates aren't interested in taking them, because realistically, it's more gold and XP for you. But you don't always have to do this. I saw Franco attacking the letho, and I thought that he would head to the bottom lane. Now, here was kind of risky again, because I wasn't sure if Franco had his ult, but I feel like if he would have ulted me, he wouldn't really kill me. And I somehow managed to snipe Haya's buff, and I can tell he was mad. Now here, what I was thinking is that he would TP back to his shadow, but to my surprise, he actually committed to Savior. So this entire scenario is a mind game in and of itself. Is he gonna TP back or is he gonna commit? I lost the mind game and Savior died. What I should have done probably was try to chase Haya off or share Haya's ult with Savior, so he would take less damage and probably survive. Now here, Franco flicker ulted at Irithel, so if I were to stun him, he had no means of escape. Now I know flicker ulting is a thing that Franco players like to do a lot, but I think it's very risky because you're basically using all your resources. If someone were to stun you out of your ult or do anything that would stop your combo, then those resources are gone. Now, I'm kind of surprised that Hayabusa actually knew where I was, but luckily he didn't have that shadow thingy on me, so he didn't teleport. Now, although Hayabusa places shadows in a way that would cut me off, I had to flicker here. Either I take his ult or take some tower shots. But luckily, our Hylos saw and helped me. So thank you. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Hayabusa's ult is basically RNG. There's no way to kind of like control where it goes. But thankfully it went for me instead of our mage. And I ended up sharing his ult with Gushin. I really wanted to get the double blue buff sneak, but I timed it wrongly. And what do you know? He's very mad again, checking the wrong bush. Since Haya has no dashes and no marks, I wasn't scared if he were to ult me, because he wouldn't do as much damage to kill me. Here I decided to go for the flicker dash because I knew that if this Franco were to survive, he would flicker ult our jungler, and the turtle or lord was a no-go. So I risked it and it paid off. I made the same mistake as before, and I kind of didn't check for their jungler. And unfortunately, I paid the price. I threw my arrow in this bush 3 times. I have no idea where they're just waiting in that bush. But slay, I guess. I think I'm actually annoying this Franco. Like, I'm literally just a pest to his side. Now, what I learned when going up against Hayabusa's shadow is I honestly shouldn't panic. When he doesn't get the initial shadow onto me, I usually just circle around and try to mind game him. Obviously, it's not that easy, but that's why it's a mind game. One of you would have to guess the other's move in order to win it. It's kind of bad that Hylos died before the Lord, because we need his engage. I knew the Hayabusa was coming, and I made sure to stop him. I think their only real threat is their jungle. If he wastes his dashes, I know he won't do anything. We should try push this inhibitor before the rest of their team gets up. Here I couldn't kill Hayabusa because I shot my arrow as soon as I transformed, so my Abyss ult was still on cooldown. It would have been risky to engage there. This is why I like building Queen's Wings. I've been surviving on the lowest HP ever now that I build it. Anyway, thank goodness we ended there because if the game were to go on for like 5 more minutes, I think they would get the advantage. Their team comp was not that bad if it were to come for late game team fights.